New Jeopardy! Host quits after comments he made about women resurface. Mike Richards has stepped down from hosting Jeopardy! Following past inappropriate comments he previously made on a podcast. Dear team, it pains me that these past incidents and comments have cast such a shadow on Jeopardy! As we look to start a new chapter, he wrote in a statement released by Sony. As I mentioned last week, I was deeply honored to be asked to host the syndicated show and was thrilled by the opportunity to expand my role, he shared. However, over the last several days it has become clear that moving forward as host would be too much of a distraction for our fans and not the right move for the show. As such, I will be stepping down as host effective immediately. As a result, we will be canceling production today. SPT will now resume the search for a permanent syndicated host, he continued. In the meantime, we will be bringing back guest hosts to continue production for the new season, details of which will be announced next week. Mike Richards apologized for past comments he made on a podcast he hosted between 2013 and 2014. I want to apologize to each of you for the unwanted negative attention that has come to Jeopardy! Over the last few weeks and for the confusion and delays this is now causing, Richards concluded. I know I have a lot of work to do to regain your trust and confidence. The news comes after Richards, 46, apologized for past comments he made while hosting the Random Show from 2013 to 2014. He was also working at The Price is Right at the time. We were surprised this week to learn of Mike's 2013/2014 podcast and the offensive language he used in the past. We have spoken with him about our concerns and our expectations moving forward, Sony said in a statement. Mike has been with us for the last 2 years and has led the Jeopardy! Team through the most challenging time the show has ever experienced. It is our hope that as EP he will continue to do so with professionalism and respect.
It is humbling to confront a terribly embarrassing moment of misjudgment, thoughtlessness, and insensitivity from nearly a decade ago, Richards said in that statement. Looking back now, there is no excuse, of course, for the comments I made on this podcast, and I am deeply sorry. Mike Richards had been selected to take over the role from longtime host Alex Trebek, who died last year. Richards went on to explain the context of his comments within his podcast before acknowledging his obligations as a role model to do better. The podcast was intended to be a series of irreverent conversations between longtime friends who had a history of joking around. Even with the passage of time, it's more than clear that my attempts to be funny and provocative were not acceptable, and I have removed the episodes, the statement continued. My responsibilities today as a father, husband, and a public personality who speaks to many people through my role on television means I have substantial and serious obligations as a role model, and I intend to live up to them. The Ringer uncovered some of the more alarming clips from Richards' time on the podcast's 41 episodes in a comprehensive report. Several include him making derogatory comments about his co-host and former assistant, Beck Triffin, such as disparaging her body and appearance. He also was found to have used slurs for people with mental disabilities and little people. Richards also discussed places like Haiti and the unemployment system in America in a way that was derogatory to the poor. Episodes of The Random Show were removed from their original platform earlier this week after the clips resurfaced. This isn't the only controversy for Richards since Jeopardy! Named him as the permanent host following the November 2020 death of Alex Trebek. Alex Trebek hosted the competition series, Jeopardy! For 37 years before his death. He previously came under fire for an incident that occurred more than a decade ago while Richards was at The Price is Right. He was the subject of a 2010 complaint by Brandy Cochran, a former model on the show, who claimed she was fired after becoming pregnant with twins while he served as co-executive producer.
Cochran obtained more than $8.5 million in punitive damages. Fans had been eager to learn who would replace the late Trebek on the show after a slew of celebrity guest hosts filled in during the past season. Richards, who has served as the show's executive producer, was to take over in season 38 for regular play. The show also tapped actress Mayim Bialik to host an upcoming crop of spin-off and special event games such as the upcoming Jeopardy! National College Championship at ABC. The announcement saw Bialik congratulated for her new gig, but fans weren't too happy to see Richards step into the permanent role of host, and would have preferred to see guest host LeVar Burton be offered the position.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.